Mukund Kalmanker, I lead the data analytics and the AI business at Apexon. If you were to think about Apexon, it's very focused and a boutique firm offering, a lot of services around the digital transformation world. So everything that relates to data, everything that relates to BI, everything that relates to data engineering underneath. And essentially, if you were to think about the digital part, we are really talking about the experience becoming very important. So everything related to the design side of the world, whether it's experience, whether it's product design, whether it's service design, completing the whole 9 yards of a digital transformation journey. So we are predominantly an data and AI-led digital transformation services firm. Uh, I personally have been in this space for a while, several years. Data has always been my passion, and it has evolved into AI, which is that passion is turning into an obsession right now. I think there's a lot of excitement around agentic AI, particularly if you were to see the conversations I've been having since yesterday with multiple CIOs and the industry thought leaders. There's a lot of excitement to see how this could actually impact and turn their business into a competitive differentiation. So obviously, if you were to think about that adoption, they're thinking about not just adoption of agentic AI, but the business impact of that. So whether it's a competitive differentiation you drive, whether it's something like a new service which could effectively result into higher revenues, or even the operational efficiencies, which is a big factor around it. So something around that is the mantra right now. I am seeing that excitement to be very big. In terms of, if you were to really think about adoption itself that they were talking about, they are really focused on making sure that the right use cases are picked up. So to your question around what are the kinds of use cases that are there, obviously it's going to start off with things which are more of customer focused. So customer servicing is going to be the right areas. We are talking about business processes. So all the agents taking over the business processes, that's going to be the next one. So that's what we are seeing right now in the industry, particularly in the Indian market. So see, there has been an evolution on the AI. If you think about it, a few years back we talked about AI. Now then we moved into the Gen AI, and now we're talking about agentic AI. As an organization, we are a digital services firm partnering with all of the greatest brands. We have a three-pronged strategy. So first and foremost, from a client perspective, how are we essentially creating solutions which are focused on creating business value? So that's one aspect of what we are doing in terms of our adoption and creation of solutions for our clients. The second is we deliver a lot of programs for our clients. We are a shop that has deep engineering talent. So when we are delivering this, how are SDLCs, how are talent pools evolving to leverage some of these latest Gen AI and the agentic AI systems? That has been a big focus. So we have modernized our delivery from what it was probably a year back. And third aspect is, of course, our own, processes. If you were to take finance, if you were to take HR, if you were to take procurement, a lot of these processes are now driven by a lot of agentic systems and frameworks that we have put in place. So from an organization perspective, we're not just looked at it as agentic AI from an agent standpoint. We have put a very holistic framework in place, which not just covers the LLMs, but the entire engineering. How do you address the MCP side of the world? How do you address the infrastructure side, the FinOps side of the world? So we have sort of put the entire engineering muscle behind it to come up with a very robust framework. And that's something that's very much appreciated by our clients because they see this to be very forward-looking things. To push a little of a needle from, since you asked about the organization, we are also focused from a research standpoint. So we are right now in collaboration with academia, trying to think about how the multi-agent environments and systems are going to evolve. So that's another area that we are developing as a part of our strategy. I think there has to be a very holistic approach towards AI governance. We have to put in guardrails in place to make sure all aspects are covered. So if I were to guide all of the people from putting the guardrails, I'll put it into 5 different buckets, right? First and foremost, you are trying to do it for a purpose. So the domain guardrails have to be put in place so that the amount of data, the amount of learning that's coming into play, it does not allow it to go beyond the domains in which it's supposed to operate. So one pillar is the domain guardrails. The second pillar is all the learning, making sure that we understand what are the models learning, what's the data sets going into it, and having a governance in terms of the learning to be appropriate on an ongoing basis is the second most important guardrail. The third guardrail more deals with everything related to security. And when we are talking about security, it's all about covering from data security to data privacy to system securities and so on and so forth. The fourth guardrail focuses predominantly on the ethics side of the world, which is what you tried to refer to. That's one of the pillars. Obviously, going to make sure that it's responsible. It's something that is going to be addressing all issues around biases and it doesn't go rogue. And most important, the fifth one, there are so many regulations that are coming out in various markets. So making sure that it's aligning to the compliance that's needed for adoption is the most important. So the way I see all of this coming out is all of these five guardrails coming into a holistic governance framework, which then guides the implementation, whether you talk about AI implementation, Gen AI implementations, or now the agentic AI implementation. That's the basis of the governance today.